Are you a photographer struggling to make ends meet? Maybe you're sick of chasing that next paycheck just to barely scrape by. Or maybe you have dreams of finally quitting your 9 to 5 and doing photography full time. In today's video, we're discussing photography pricing. There are some very important shifts that photographers should make that will revolutionize your creative business. I'll share my personal journey of how I went from barely scraping by to making over 6 figures a year. In my first 2 years of product photography, I felt like I was barely making any progress, but by year 3, I made a shift that drastically increased my revenue. And the best part, I worked with less clients than before. I was able to make nearly triple the amount of money with a simple shift in pricing, and I guarantee you'll be able to double your own rates if you stick with this method. If this is your first time here, my name is Chris Pieta. I teach creative business through my education company, Creative Biz Launch, and when I'm not doing that, I'm running my product photography company. Alright, so in the intro there, I pitched the dream outcome, right? We can make more money by working with less clients. How is this possible? Well, we need to avoid some critical mistakes when it comes to pricing. I made a lot of mistakes when I was starting out with my pricing. I didn't have a mentor for the longest time. I had no resources online like this YouTube channel to learn from, and I was left with no choice than to just guess how to do it. It wasn't until I actually invested in my business education that I started getting results. Since then, I've never thought twice about investing in myself. In this video, I want to break down my story, my pitfalls, and the wrong way of pricing. And then at the end, we'll discuss the best way of pricing your photography or really any creative service. If you're a videographer or graphic designer, you'll benefit from this video just as much. Let's get into it. All right, let's start this video off by rewinding the clock all the way back to early 2019 when I first started getting paid gigs. This is before I started doing product photography, so a while ago. Back then, I got the occasional headshot gig or lifestyle modeling gig, mainly from being in the Chicago photography scene. When I took these projects on, I charged hourly. That was what I thought everyone did, so that's what I did. I quickly realized this was the wrong way to go about it. So when I started my product photography business, from the very start, I charged per deliverable rather than hourly. Here's why pricing hourly was a mistake for me and for almost every photographer out there. This is especially true if you're a beginner or intermediate photographer. As I gained experience and improved my own skills, I noticed an interesting and frustrating phenomenon. My earnings would decline. This happened because I was able to work more efficiently, which meant that I spent less time on each shoot. And since I was charging hourly, this meant I earned less despite delivering better results. So if I was pricing hourly, I was actually getting punished for producing better results. That doesn't make much sense. So I could either deliberately work slower and produce the same results, or continuously raise my rates. If I worked slower, I was just accepting mediocrity, which as an entrepreneur, I did not have that in me. I want to be the best. If I raised my rates, then clients would start asking questions after each new shoot. Well, this cost $50 an hour last time. Why is it $70 an hour now? If I kept raising my rates like this, clients would get frustrated and stop working with me. Sure, I could explain why I raised my rates, but then they would probably just want the old rate and the worst photos I was doing before. So that brings me to option 3, charge per deliverable. I would have a set price per photo. This seemed to solve all of my problems. Now, as I got better at photography, my price per photo would stay the same, but I would be able to produce more work in that same time period, so I'd be able to work much more efficiently. This basically meant I could make more money in the same time frame as before. A win-win. I thought I solved all my problems with this pricing strategy, so as soon as I switched to product photography in late 2019, I decided to price my work per photo. And it worked exactly as I thought it would. The pricing structure was super simple, so it was easy to explain it to potential clients. So that's what I did. For a few years, I priced per photo. If you want to know the actual price per photo I was charging, well, that varied a lot. For me, at the very start, it was $20. Then there was some bigger projects. So over time, this rate varied between $20 and sometimes even $200 per photo. But I know photographers who charge $500 per photo. Now, I can't tell you how much to charge because I have such a broad audience here on YouTube. Telling you what to charge wouldn't really make sense because I don't know your niche or how good you are at product photography. If you want more personalized pricing advice, join Creative Biz Launch next time we open. That's my program that teaches photographers and videographers how to start their business and scale it to 6 figures, guaranteed. Waitlist for that is below. Now, with clients, when I would get on my sales calls, this is what I would pitch them. I pitched per photo pricing, but soon I started to see a problem and actually a solution to that problem. I had a minimum photo quantity of 10 photos at the time. Over the phone, I would tell clients this and I'd ask them how many photos they actually wanted. Some would say the minimum of 10, others had no idea. So when I sent the proposal over, I would usually pre-fill it with 15 or 20 photos inside the proposal, and I would let them choose if they wanted to switch that number. And to my surprise, the clients rarely changed the numbers I put down. This got me thinking. They're perceiving me as the expert here. They think they need 15 or 20 photos because that's what I put down. So I'm going to actually build out packages here. This was my light bulb moment. I was going to build out big packages for clients. I noticed that clients trusted the amount of photos I put, so I was just going to build out these high ticket packages around this number. This is a secret I'm sharing with you today. We're no longer pricing per deliverable. We're building out massive packages with massive value for the client for a big price tag. A big price tag meaning thousands of dollars. I started imagining what my business would look like if I had the financial stability that I longed for. I realized that I would have a lot more freedom to do what I want with my time. It gave me freedom to pursue more projects. I also unlocked the ability to spend more time on client work and really create the best results possible. Higher budgets meant that I could really create the best photos that I was capable of. No longer was I constrained by $500 budgets. I was working with $5,000 budgets. Imagine what you can do with a 10x budget. Another thing that happened was the higher budget clients tended to be a lot easier to work with. They didn't micromanage, and they trusted me with the process. That was a perk I didn't see coming, but one I definitely welcomed. Another perk was that I was able to work with a lot less clients and be more selective with who I worked with. I had more money coming in, which meant I could actually become more and more picky, but it wasn't all roses. There was a tough side to charging so much money. My close rate went down a lot in sales. When I pitched my service, I got a lot more no's, mainly because of that price tag. It was discouraging at the start, but the longer I did it and the more volume that I did, I eventually started getting those yeses, and it was all worth it. Once I figured out the packages I wanted to sell, the results were pretty extraordinary. The first 3 months I did these packages, I made 50 grand. And then another 50 grand the following 3 months after that. That was pretty wild for me, and pretty wild for most photographers out there. I'm telling you this so that you know what's possible with high ticket packages. Now, when I say high ticket packages, this is anything over 2 grand in my book. I was selling on average $3,000 to $4,000 per package, but there were some that were $10,000 plus. I was able to build out these custom packages for clients because when I told them my base packages, they perceived me as the expert because I had that high price point, so they assumed that I'd be able to deliver on that $10,000 mark as well. It took me a long time to actually figure out how to price these packages and how to actually create a compelling offer. I read the book $100 Million Offers by Hormozi, and that really helped me, but a lot of it was just trial and error. I identified problems my clients had, proposed solutions, and then reiterated those packages over time until I nailed something that worked for me. Now, I know I mentioned Creative Biz Launch earlier, and we actually have a whole module devoted to creating packages they can sell for thousands. That's 15 plus videos devoted to teaching you the exact strategies to make that kind of money inside your own creative business. Again, the waitlist for that is down below. Right now, Creative Biz Launch is closed for enrollment, so I'll quickly go over the package strategy right here in this video. Photo or video packages need to provide a lot of value for the dollar amount. This means you need to include a lot of photos in there for a relatively good deal. You need to convey your value with previous case studies and show exactly how you provide a high ROI on other clients' investments. I also love including bonuses in all of my packages. Bonuses can be anything, but really, it's usually things that will set you apart from other photographers. This can be things like super fast turnaround times, like 2 to 3 days. It can be free licensing, free prop shopping, etc. Now, build out your package with your core deliverables, add on those bonuses, and slap on a high price tag on that package, and you're good to go. And this is exactly how you increase your revenue. When I did this in my business, my revenue nearly tripled. In summary, don't price hourly, price per photo, but then switch to packages. That's all I got today. My name is Chris Pieta. Creative Biz Launch waitlist is down below. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.